So my beef with the Assassin's Creed attacks and the obsessive anti-woke boycotting of it is simply the hypocrisy of it. One, they keep talking about how Japan, they've been waiting for this their whole life. Which one, I don't think they have. And they're like, you're finally getting Assassin's Creed and you put a black character. I'm like, they put two characters. One's Japanese. You can play as a Japanese character. You don't have to play as a black character. So all the other games, you can play as the singular character of that race. So this was the same thing. One character of the race. Two, they talk about historical accuracy. All the games start out with them telling you that it's not historically accurate. It's a fucking video game. It's not a documentary. It doesn't have to be historically accurate. They even point out, like, it's setting on, like, the Toranaga things are in the wrong spot. I'm like, it's a video game. You go through all the video games and you can keep pointing out architectural problems like that. There's not, stacks of hay all over every city for you to dive off a tower. They're all conveniently located. That doesn't exist either. Talking about, like, oh, it's unrealistic. I'm like, Assassin's Creed 2, the priest is like a demon. None of it's realistic. You're using science that doesn't exist. Sci-fi. You're going through someone's DNA into the past. That doesn't exist. Right? So it's not realistic. It's the most realistic, I'd argue, if you want to talk about historical. It's using a real life person. Like, oh, and that guy that we don't know the historical. I'm like, right, because it doesn't care. It tells you in every game, not historically accurate. But he is a real person. Isn't a real person? Ezio Auditore, not a real person. Not a real person. The main guy that you're going to his DNA, I forgot what the hell his name is, not a real person. So the beef is, oh, he's not a real. I'm like, this guy is a real person, therefore making it more accurate than any of the other games. And I just don't see this as something that was done for some woke reason. I don't see it like that. I see it as somebody read about this one time and thought it would be cool. And then they just like, well, it might be some kind of beef, so let's add a Japanese character. Then you have two options. I'm like, it just doesn't come across like that in any way. This is the point where I'm like, all right, now you guys have toxified what the logical points you were making at one point in time years ago. Now it is this racism. That is just racism at this point. You see a black guy and you have to immediately assume conspiracy out to make the white guy mad, and it has to be some issue. I'm like, you don't have any of these issues about historical accuracy in the other games. You don't have any of these issues about the fact that Ezio is not a real person, or any of the characters are real people. They're not fucking real people. And you're completely full of shit when you're saying, oh, you can't play as a guy. I'm like, yes, you can. What? And then the architecture thing they point out, I'm like, what? The fuck? None of the fucking games are correct. And at the end of the day, it's a fucking video. So to me, I'm like, they got to the point where all the left, who was always condemning them for being bigots, back when the left was wrong, now the left is right. And everything just ended up becoming where all these right-leaning people became what the left said they were, ultimately. So yeah, I think the Assassin's Creed thing is a bunch of bullshit. So, yeah, racism. Hate to say it, but I think that is. Comment, like, subscribe for more rants and my thoughts, the entertainment industry, and the downfall, the impending apocalypse that is ensuing.